Got it. So hopefully you see the slide, and we're talking about how to make the most of, and we're talking about how to make the most of, and we're talking about how to make the most. There you go. So how to make the most of the next 6 weeks to really set yourself up for an amazing 2022. If you are in most parts of the country or most parts of the world, I think generally slow down in November or December. I know some southern resort cities like Miami Beach are pretty hot during the winter months, but most parts kind of slow down. Agents slow down, home buying slows down, but that means in spring, a lot of people are going to be putting their home on the market. So if you maximize your time over the next 6 weeks to really get in front of people, or the next 8 weeks to get in front of people, make them think of you, see how hard of a worker you are, see how you do a great job marketing your listings. They're going to be thinking about you, how you do a great job when spring comes around, and they want to list their house. So holding holiday open houses is a great idea if the property that you're selling is decorated for the holidays. You can have holiday smelling candles there. I would make a really big deal about it, having balloons and signs. I would do Facebook ads directing people there. You can do postcards if you schedule them early enough in advance to the surrounding neighbors. You can do door hangers, you can door knock. But really do an amazing open house, because so few people will be doing open houses. So you're going to have a captive audience of the agents. Catherine, what do you think as far as holding holiday open houses?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think they are amazing. I have sold a house on, I hate saying this, but the day after Thanksgiving. And because people have time and it's not like they have a whole lot to do. And when you make it a home, like, so one of my listings, I have now revamped the flowers and everything in the room, as we talked about this last week, how important it is to create that, a feeling of a home, taking a house and making it into a luxury home. So I went and I bought things like pomegranates. They last forever. And
they do.
They really do, right? So then you take, and being in New England, we're so lucky. I just went out in my yard and cut up some leaves from the beautiful trees, some foliage, and I put those in, and I put them all in this basket with some fake berries that I got from Michael's, and just created this beautiful fall Thanksgiving type centerpiece to put around the house. And it looks so good, and people really, really respond to it. And they envision themselves there, because this is, again, this an aspirational type of sale, right? You're creating the holidays, something they remember. Perhaps you're going to hit a note, something a lot of millennials did not want to do before the pandemic. They didn't want to buy houses. They wanted to travel. They wanted to have a very nomadic life. Now, after the pandemic, they really are we're seeing a lot of the millennials who are, with a lot of cash, and they all want to buy and luxury homes. So we have to create that home that just really speaks to them. So yes, I'm all about doing holiday open houses and decorating as much as you can. Don't go kind of too overboard, because you have to be sensitive to cultural and religious issues, like, putting up, maybe Christmas trees and things like that. If the family has it, absolutely fine. But if it's an empty home, I don't know that I would go that far. But I think you could do a lot of fun things with garland and flowers, and definitely get some candles, and it will be, just to make it all smell really beautiful. Yeah. And then I also ask everybody when they come into these holiday open houses, would you like to come and see it at nighttime? And then at nighttime, I do turn on the candles and all of that too. So.
Something I'm doing is I'm actually holding a broker open house next Tuesday at one of our listings that is decorated for the holidays. It's vacant. It's a high-end flip, and we're holding a broker open house. but also tying that into agent attraction. So we're holding a broken open house, but doing it as a training, and inviting agents in the area and also agents that might be great agent attraction prospects to the open house, give them a great training. They can see what we're doing. They can see the type of listings that we have. We're exposing the listing to agents in the area and making it an agent attraction event at the same time. So we're doing that next Tuesday. So I will share some pictures of that after we do that.
You should do a live stream
Oh, that's a great idea.
so we can all see it and be a part
Oh,
of
that's a
it.
great idea. Yes, thank you.
Sure.
It was actually going to be on Tuesday, so it's perfect.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. So the next thing for making the most out of the next remaining 6 weeks of the year is just be really social and be where wealthy people are. You know, connect on LinkedIn, connect with wealthy wealth managers and attorneys and bankers, and finance people, and all those different people. Search for hashtags about locations where people might be checking in, and connect with people that way on Instagram and those different things.
And
Build and
oh,
incubate your relationships. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I really would urge everybody to, this is the time to give. And yes, we all say we're busy, so we write the checks, right? No, this is not a good time to do that. I want you to look at what is available. Like in our little area, we have the Rotary Club of Weston and Wayland, and they're doing a Christmas tree sale. And they're looking for volunteers. What a great way to meet your neighbors and meet other agents, than to be in there selling trees, loading them up into the car and everything. And bring your wife or husband or significant other and let people get to know you, volunteering, in a way like that. So think of other things, other volunteer opportunities where you actually are working alongside other people. And these are the people who you want to know. I mean, I hate to say that you have an alternative agenda, but if your goal is to go and meet people, why not do some good as well?
Right, absolutely. Um, and then connect with influencers in your area. If there are Instagram influencers, if there are um, other influencers who are or bloggers or holding events in your area, building relationships with those people is often key to helping grow your presence in the area with the types of people that you'd like to connect with and build relationships with. Um, Definitely now is a great time to create videos of the luxury areas, especially as people start to put the lights up. I am in downtown St. Augustine. That's one of the top 10 destination cities for holiday lights in the world. So we are going to be making some amazing videos of that. And that's evergreen content that you can share year after year. You can incorporate into your listing videos in future years. So go around if there's special events going on in your area, whether it's cultural events or, like Catherine was saying, kind of giving back community type events, make videos of that and share that so people can see what you're doing, how you're tied in with the community, how you're helping. Connect with luxury business people. Then that can be all kinds of people. That can be a high-end tailor. That can be the jewelry store owner. That can be, like I said, the other business professionals like attorneys and bankers, but just start to build great relationships, go to events where they'll be and just create those relationships. And, Instagram, of course, is a huge way that you can connect with people and build your presence, build your brand, and build your relationships.
And this is a
Um,
really good time to be going to those places with the wealth advisors. It's kind of a downtime for those people. And also bankers, all these people, they're getting their bonuses. And my goodness, this year is going to be a bonanza for most people.
yeah,
They are going to have a lot of money to spend. And if
absolutely.
you are in a second market area, or if you're in a luxury area, this is the time to do not lift your foot off that gas pedal. Keep going and marketing to them. And remember, this is when they're going to give you their attention. Not right now, but in December. But prepare for it now and really just cultivate. And again, go to those places where you are going to meet them. But just know they are there. They have the time. You get their attention, and they have money.
Absolutely. Now is also a great time to cold and warm call. Again, most agents are starting to slow down. They're taking their foot off the gas. So if you don't take your foot off the gas, if you really use this time to get out there, you're going to be the person remembered the most, especially come spring when the market starts to pick up. So if your brokerage or you yourself are having open houses or you have a new listing, cold or warm call around those listings and say, hey, we have a new listing, would you like to hear about it? Or we have an open house, I'd like to invite you. Call now also offering a CMA. It's the end of the year, so a lot of people want to know how much their house might be worth now at the end of the year, just for their financial planning for next year. The market's been hot, so calling and offering that is a way to connect with people. Call around your brokerage's recent sales and just say, hey, just wanted to let you know such and such down the street sold. It sold for this much. Lots and lots, and cold calling, especially now that people are working from home and they're home more, is really a real great opportunity. And you don't have to be calling it saying, hey, do you want to list your house? It's more about building relationships that you can incubate over time. Neighbors have been a great source of listing business for me because I build a relationship and they're like, oh, so and so is about to list their house. You need to follow up with them. And they give me a warm intro to that person. And then, like I said, calling around open houses just to let people know about an open house that's coming up.
Yeah.
Um,
The other thing, if you're comfortable, and if you're comfortable with this, then you're a very lucky human being, because a lot of people are not comfortable with this. Go to stores, like specialty stores that might have like beautiful dishes, or like really high-end boutique stores in your community, and go and ask for an interview. And with that, you get two things. A, you get you get great videos, and you get to know the person very well. But on top of it, they're going to put the interview on their social media. Then they're going to tag you. So that's a really good thing. So think about high-end jewelry stores, high-end wine shops, uh, people who, like for us, we have this thing called Weston Table, and they have beautiful dishes and any like candles, gorgeous things. So think about that in your community, and just go interview them. And it's a great way to get your build up your Instagram, and also make some nice friends in the community.
Awesome. Also, a lot of properties are going to start expiring during the holidays or coming off the market because people don't want to have their house on the market during the holidays. So if marketing to expireds is one of your lead generation avenues, you're going to have a lot. And I would tee yourself up, because at the end of the year, for whatever reason, a ton of agents have their listings expired December 31st. So come January 1st, there's going to be a huge abundance of expired listings. And while bread and butter listings aren't expiring very much in today's market, luxury listings are still expiring. They're not selling. And I would be a little skeptical, because I'm a person who built my business on expireds. I can't tell you how many people, how many agents put in their comments, don't contact seller. They're going to be relisting in the spring with me or whatever. And so many agents just put that in there as a way to kind of um, have people not contact those sellers. And more than 50% of the time, they actually end up listing with somebody else when it comes back on the market. So you may or may not be a person willing to contact that person anyway, but I just want to tell you that a lot of the time they're not relisting with that person. They're just trying to keep other agents from calling them. Um, I would also look at expireds that maybe expired 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, before the market was hot, before COVID was happening, because they might be thinking about now listing in the spring. People who plan to list in the spring are thinking about it now. So the more you can be in front of those people now and be building the relationships now and showing them your value now, the more listings you will reap once spring comes around. And like I say in expireds, never give up. Like never give up, never give up, never give up. Uh, Expireds is the number one easiest way to work yourself up into a higher price point by far. Those are people who are already worn down with the listing prices, maybe worn down with their price a little bit, and they've already shown an interest in selling. So it's definitely one of the easiest ways that you can start to get a foothold in the luxury listing arena. And like I said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. It takes time. Just like agent attraction, it takes time. You start sowing your seeds, you start building relationships, you start refining your materials, refining your process, and it absolutely will start to pay off.
And with that, oh my God, sorry about that, Janie. Consistency. Janie and I are always talking about consistency. This is one area you cannot be successful unless you are consistent. And look at Janie and her track record of what she has done, because she was consistent the whole time. So if you really want to get those big listings in the luxury market, and you can, here it is, they're telling you who they are. And so be consistent. And I had somebody call me yesterday, and it was something I'm consistent about, sending out these postcards. And I send them a postcard saying, hey, your neighbor's house just sold, if you want to talk to me. And I've been doing this now for about 4 months. And people have been calling me, but this guy called me, goes, I've been getting these. I really like it. Please keep them coming. Like, I've never had somebody just initiate that kind of call, but really just whatever it is you're doing, just be consistent.
Be consistent, 100%. And I can tell you for sure, based on my own data, that the more you're consistent with somebody, by the time they are ready to sell, they won't even interview other people. They'll be calling you and say, come over and list my house. Come over and tell me what I need to list it at. Come over and just get this on the market. The longer it is, just like with SEO, where they talk about long tail SEO, it's the same way with consistency. The longer people have been seeing you, they feel like they know you. And they feel like you're the expert, and you'll get a lot less pushback on commission and price and terms and everything like that. The next thing is start to think about for sale by owners. You know, you can always look on Zillow. Zillow has the for sale by owners listed slightly differently, so you can see who's there. You can call and offer info and assistance. And just build a relationship with them. Ask them if you can hold an open house there. Ask them if you can make a website to promote their listing. You don't always have to go straight for the listing with for sale by owners, because they've already decided they don't need or want an agent. But in time, most of them realize they do. So there's a time when they're not open to needing an agent, but they might be open to talking to an agent. If you're the person there building the relationship, building the trust, building the respect, when, you know, I think it's some crazy number, like at least 85% eventually turn to listing with agents. Who are they going to list with? They're going to list with the person who treated them well, didn't try to bully them, didn't try to bowl them over, and list with them. So do lots of things, show value, give them some safety precautions, saying, hey, every time you have a showing, make sure you go check all your windows are locked after they've left, or, you know, make sure they're pre-qualified before you show them, or make sure you have somebody at the house while you're having a showing. Like, just give them safety tips, give them tips on negotiations. And this might seem counterproductive, but I assure you it will win you more business. And then just stay in touch. Just, you know, touch base, just like Catherine was saying, just touch base every few weeks. Hey, how's the listing going? Do you need anything? Do you need me to, you know, see what's going on? And some people don't like this approach because it's not fast enough for them. But if you're trying to get into the luxury side of things, luxury just takes longer. It takes longer to develop the relationships. It takes longer to develop the trust. It normally takes longer to sell. So work
And
on that.
and not necessarily, don't get scared up. You can get a great luxury product right away. Like, there's nothing it's out there, so it could.
Right. No, absolutely.
Yeah, but Janie is so much nicer than I am because I don't bother with those people irritate me, the for sale by owners. I do give them statistics of how any home that's sold with a realtor gets 16% more than without. So, but anyway, there's some people you just can't do. But I just want to talk about expireds again, because again, Janie has a phenomenal plan that we've already shared with you on this program, and I believe it's available in our archives. But you might think somebody whose property expired 4 years ago isn't interested anymore in selling. And I am here to tell you that you're probably wrong on that. I don't mean to say wrong, but it's probably a misconception, because what if this person whose property expired just had a horrible experience and basically felt like nobody wanted their home, and so they don't want to go through that again? And here you are, the angel that's saying, yes, your home is worth a lot and I'm going to help you with that, and let me show you how. So think of it that way, that you're basically helping somebody, because if somebody came in and they were able to trust you and you knew what you were doing, because you now know how to do a phenomenal listing presentation and market preparation, you would be really helping that person not have that angst that they
Right.
would normally.
Right. And also often the previous listing agent had gotten worn out anyway. And sometimes they weren't doing a
Yes.
great job marketing. Sometimes they were slow to give updates, and the seller was feeling kind of neglected. And luxury properties are a lot of time an extension of the person. Like they put a lot of their own emotions and feelings into the property. So when it doesn't sell quickly, they take it personally and they feel beaten down, like Catherine is saying. So if you're the person coming along fresh and excited and, really showing value to what they have, um, that is a breath of fresh air to
Yes.
them.
Yeah.
Um, this is one of my favorites. This is not just a holiday thing. This is a year-round thing, but become the media go-to person for luxury in your area. There's lots of ways you can do that. You can make market reports of what's going on. You can hold report events. You can hold that at your local, like a local restaurant or something like that. You can hold it at a listing where you start to invite on a monthly basis the the local real estate agents, the local buyers and sellers, just the community at large. You can invite the media. You can send the media your market reports because they might share it. You can send influencers on social media your market reports because they might share it. Start to build one-on-one relationships with the local real estate reporters and the local real estate editors in the print and news, and become the go-to person. Build relationships with those types of people on social media. Twitter is great for building relationships, or Haro, HARO, which is help a reporter out. You can set up, that's a national site where you can start to build relationships and start to get in the press, but do the same thing with your local people, because in your local business journal or your local newspaper or your local whatever, there's always people who cover the real estate beat, so to speak. So make relationships with them. And every
Oh,
time you
what?
notice something,
Oh,
uh-huh.
I'm sorry, real quick. Janie, that Haro, I've been using it and I realized there's a different way to use it, which is exciting.
Oh, tell me.
Yeah, so you look through the articles, right? Because the reporters are submitting what they're going to write about or what they want to write about. That's a great place to go get ideas of things you can write about in your
Oh
blog.
yeah.
So that's what
Yeah,
I
for
do.
blogging.
I don't even
That's
submit it.
that's a great idea. I've ended up being picked up a lot by Haro.
Yeah,
um, a lot. And that just adds to your credibility, because now you can say, as seen in MSNBC News, or as seen in Money Magazine, or as seen as Barron's, or wherever it is. That adds
right.
credibility for sellers, and it adds credibility for agent attraction. So definitely be using Haro. And then anytime you notice something newsworthy, reach out to your local news people and tell them about it. I can't tell you how many times I've been in the news, the local news. We had I'm in St. Augustine. We had a big storm last week. It's called a nor'easter. It's like a baby hurricane and massive flooding. And so the news came out and interviewed me about the flooding. But before, when I was living in Miami, I saw an alligator had gotten tossed out of a pickup, and the news reported on that. I saw when the Craigslist rent scammers were just starting, I reported on that, and they came out and interviewed me. When Barack Obama announced the Help for Homeowners program after the recession, or during the recession, really, I let them know how that helps local homeowners, and they came out and interviewed me on that. The more you start to give them information, the news is they need new news like 3 times a day. They need it morning, noon, and night to have new, fresh news, and they can't find all that news. So if you become the person sharing with them something newsworthy that you happen to notice, maybe there's a lot of break-ins in your area, whatever it is, not stuff that they can find by Googling, but stuff nobody else has kind of the in on. So share that with your news and you'll start to become the go-to person. And that's like huge, huge, huge for getting press coverage and exposure. And even my little thing on the news about the flooding last week, I can't tell you how many people messaged me and said, oh, I saw you on the news. And then also that makes you discoverable when people Google your name, because they normally include your name in when they put it online. And then the last one we talk about, just know the luxury market. Spend this time that is a little slower to really do your homework, study the market, study like the average list to sale ratio, study the average dollars per square foot, try to understand how much does a pool add, how much does a guest house add, how much does a golf course view add, or an ocean view or a ski slope or whatever it is that your area has. Study the average days on market, figure out what are the outliers, like also what are the outlier properties. So if somebody brings them up, like if you get a listing appointment and somebody brings it up, understand why that might have been an outlier, either positive or negative. Study the architecturally significant homes in your area. Are there certain styles or architects or people who have owned homes in the past or current celebrities? Know that, because the people buying and selling luxury properties are likely going to know that themselves. So you better know it. And like I said, understand the dollars per square foot and variations for the kind of specialty things for your specific area. Um, Anything on that, Catherine? Otherwise, I think we might be done with the ideas. Let me see if I have some bonus ideas. Oh,
I
I
think,
do have a bonus
oh,
idea.
well, it's the the price per square foot, it's just not the same. We are in a time right now where new construction is costing a lot more money than a house that was built 5 years ago. And you have to be able to show value on that. And you should be able to do uh, what I've been doing is doing the math of what the land is worth and then the price per square feet. I mean, it's just very good if you can show that, because the clients that we have in our area are really sophisticated and smart and they like to have numbers. So knowing your market is probably the greatest thing that makes you a luxury real estate advisor.
Yep. And then bonus number one, have a why list now campaign. I would be doing that right now this week. Do it blogging, do videos, do Instagram, do LinkedIn, however it is that you reach people. These are some of the top reasons why somebody might want to list now versus waiting till the spring. There's almost always fewer homes on the market. Like I said, there's some markets that these winter months are the season. Certainly South Florida is that way. I'm sure other warm weather luxury markets are that way, but 97 or 98% of at least the US, most people are going to want to wait till spring. But if you show them there are fewer homes on the market, so there's more competition between buyers to get homes, that's a really big thing for you as a seller. Buyers who are buying at this time of year are serious buyers. If they're out looking for homes in the middle of Thanksgiving or the middle of the winter holidays, they're serious buyers. They're not tire kickers. They're not hobby buyers. They're serious. They need to buy normally because of some
Absolutely.
change in their lives. Once you wait until the spring, everybody else is waiting till the spring. Now you might have 20 other properties on the market similar to yours, whereas right now you might only have 5. Like, it's a significant difference. So show them the supporting data about how you will be one of the very few on the market, as opposed to waiting till the spring, which when there's a limited supply, we already have a limited supply of listings, but imagine that on steroids during the winter months. Get that out there. Bonus number 2, like I said, make a massive push right now. Like, I'm amping up my postcard direct mail program, which is normally every 2 weeks. I'm actually doing every week from now until mid-January, explaining why they shouldn't wait, explaining why it's going to be better for them. And like I said, most agents are taking the time off now, so you can really fast forward your known brand and known presence, while everybody else is kind of being asleep, and become top of mind, and then carry that through to the spring. And then, like I said, swarm, be omnipresent, have open houses, do direct mail, do social media. And in 8 weeks, they're going to think you are the it agent for their area, even if they hadn't heard of you before. Like, just really, really amp up from now through the end of January, and you are really going to reap the rewards
And
with your business.
and you will have a happy new year for real.
Yes, you will have a happy new year. So thank you guys for being patient with us during our start. We are really, really good at selling luxury real estate, but sometimes technology is not our strong point. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And yeah,
But you got extra bonus things today, which you may not have had we
that's
started
right.
on
You got
time.
extra
So,
bonus things.
yeah.
So awesome.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks, Catherine.
Thank you,
Bye.
Janie. Bye.
Bye.